Hey everyone, today we're going to be talking about a very common and popular theorem in geometry known as the Triangle Sum Theorem. What this theorem essentially states is that all the angles inside a triangle need to add up to 180 degrees. Let's go ahead and let's take a look at it. So, our Triangle Angle Sum Theorem. It says that the sum of all the angles of a triangle is 180 degrees. So if this is our triangle, we would know that the triangle angle A, B, and C, all these angles should add up and equal 180 degrees. And we use this a lot of times to find the measurement of one angle that we do not have. So let's go ahead and we're going to look at some examples in which we use this theorem to help us find missing angles. Let's look at our first example. Here I have a triangle where I have two of the angles. One angle is 71 degrees, the other is 46 degrees. So using the triangle angle sum theorem, I can add all of these angles together. So I can say 71 degrees plus 46 degrees plus x. Adding all of these together, I should get 180 degrees. Then we can use algebra from here to sort of work this out. I can combine my like terms of 71 and 46. Combining those two, you should get 117 degrees plus x equals 180 degrees. I can then subtract 117 degrees from both sides. That will leave me with x equal to 63 degrees. And now I've now found that angle x, in fact, is 63 degrees. So let's go ahead and let's look at a few more examples. Here I have another one, a little bit more complex because now I'm finding two values. I need to find what the value of x is and the value of y. So let's start off with finding x because it appears that we have the two angles that we need in order to do that. If I look at y, I don't know what this angle is yet, so I'm kind of lost in how to find y for now. So let's first start off with what we can do. I know that if I'm solving for x, that 46 degrees plus 36 degrees plus x degrees, I'm not sure what that is yet. I know that all of this should equal 180 degrees. Adding our like terms, 46 and 36, that'll leave me with 46 plus 36 is 82 degrees plus x degrees equals 180 degrees. I can then subtract 82 degrees from both sides. That'll leave me with x equals 98 degrees. Okay? And the way we find y is for this problem, we are going to use the vertical angles theorem. The vertical angles theorem states that any two vertical angles are congruent, meaning they have the same measurement. So I don't have this angle directly, but I know what its vertical angle is. I now found that x is actually 98 degrees, meaning that this angle on the inside right here must also be 98 degrees. And we can use that to help us find what the angle of y is going to be. So now I write a new equation combining 98 degrees plus 44 degrees plus y should equal 180 degrees. Again, we combine like terms. I can combine the 98 and the 44. This should get me 98 plus 44 would be 142 plus y equals 180 degrees. I can actually subtract 42 from each side, or 142 minus 142. I will get y equals 38 degrees. And now we have found both x and y. So this one did involve us to use the vertical angles theorem. Once we found that, we were able to use the same equation for both, really. Adding the two angles we're given, plus the angle we're missing, x or y, and setting that equal to 180. Then we combine like terms, and we eventually subtract in order to find x or y. Okay, let's go ahead and let's look at this next one. So now let's take a look at this problem. We also have an x and a y. Unlike the last problem where we had to find x first, in this one we're actually able to find y first, because in this triangle we have two of the three angle measurements. So let's go ahead and let's set up that equation. Again, we're going to add these three together. This is going to be 39 degrees plus 91 degrees plus that y degrees that we don't know. But we know that all of this has to have the sum of 180 based off the Triangle Angle Sum Theorem. Again, we combine like terms. We get 130 degrees plus y degrees equals 180. Okay, then I can subtract 130 from both sides, giving me y degrees equals 50 degrees. So now I know that this angle is 50 degrees. The question is, how can I begin to solve for x? I don't have this inner angle. How can I find it? Well, we use another theorem that we've learned in geometry, and that is the linear pairs theorem. The linear pairs theorem says if we have two angles that seem to form a straight line, okay, we call those a linear pair. If I have two angles that are a linear pair, then I know that their sum should be also 180. So I know that this angle plus this angle should be 180. So I'm going to use that to help me find this angle here in red. So I know that 91 degrees plus we'll call that, what can we call that value? We'll just give that A. We'll call it angle A, because angle A should equal 180 degrees. We can then subtract 91 degrees from both sides, and we find that angle A is going to be 89 degrees. So now we know this angle. We found that angle A is actually 89 degrees. So we just found that this angle, again angle A, is 89 degrees. And now that I have two of the three angles in this triangle in which x is included, I can use that to help me find the value of x. So we'll go ahead and write that off to the side. Our third equation is going to be 71 degrees plus 89 degrees plus x degrees, which is the last angle we're solving for. All of this should equal 180 degrees. Adding these two together, 71 plus 89 is 160 degrees plus x equals 180. I can then subtract 160 from each side. Leaving me with x equal to 20 degrees. So for this problem, we know that y equaled 50 degrees and that x equaled 20 degrees. And we have solved by using Triangle Angles Sum Theorem, but also for this problem, we were also able to use the linear pairs theorem. So hopefully now you have a better understanding of how to use the Triangle Angle Sum Theorem. Now again, this theorem states that all angles inside a triangle eventually add up to 180. So we use this a lot of times because we're given two angles and we need to find a missing one. We add them up, We set them equal to 180 and we have an equation that we can solve to help us find that missing angle. Now a lot of times, as you saw, we do need at least 2 angles to help us find a missing third angle. And sometimes we use the vertical angles theorem, sometimes we use the linear pairs theorem. Okay, these are very common strategies that we use to help us find the second angle that we need in order to find that missing third angle. As always, I just want to thank you for watching, and I'd like to highly recommend that you watch this next video that's on the triangle exterior angle theorem. These two are very common theorems, the one that you saw in this video and the one that's in this next video that we use in geometry. So I hope you stay tuned and that you watch that one. I'll see you guys next time.